All right, welcome back to the Please Remain Calm podcast. It kind of sounded like it said please a little bit. Please.
Dude, your voice is mesmerizing. Let me just say that.
It's a solid please.
You got a good radio voice.
Thank you, but I think I mumbled a lot through the first few shows. That was the thing I was kind of struggling with because when we started, I didn't know if I was gonna just like talk or because I think people hear my shit and will hear me saying like this dude mumbles, you know what I mean, or he talks too low. Like how can he be a comedian? And when I'm on stage, like I kind of yell. Like so I have a little more of like a stage persona thing, and I thought it'd be kind of like obnoxious to do that shit in the studio. Yeah. So I didn't. Oh yeah, and I'm Ben Gonzalez, and over here's my brother
Daniel Gonzalez.
All right, right on. So hot intro. We jumped right in. And
I was nervous about starting this thing too, man, mostly because I was worried about not having enough shit to talk about to fill the time. Yeah, you know what I mean.
And then it turns out not as much of a problem as we thought.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So what's new, dude? Everyone's getting COVID again.
Yeah. Well, there's some other new things like with the show to catch up on too. We're on everything now, pretty much. If you want to listen to us, you can also just watch us on YouTube. Our YouTube channel's up and running. All the episodes are up there. We also have clips now, clips with hot subtitles. Very well done. We appreciate our friend Katie Miriam hooked them up. And we also have a contact email now where you can hit us up if you have questions you want. Because I think too, like we're working on that as well. But this show is like technical, kind of like we'll roll through some like terms, and people might be listening, and we try to catch as many as we can to explain if we think it's something that people in the general public wouldn't know what we're saying. But there still might be things that we just don't catch and just say. You know what I mean? People are like, what the fuck are they talking about? So ask us, email us, contact@prcpod. Or was it? No, my bad. I'm fucking up our email. Contact@prcpod@gmail.
That's all it. Right? Yeah.
There you go.
Or if you've had any close calls or had to call 911 for any reason you think you might want to be on the show, you can contact us. Let us know who you are, and maybe we can get you on the show.
Yeah. It's a cool way to reach out. And we also have
follow us everywhere. Follow us everywhere. Subscribe on YouTube if you watch us on YouTube. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. It helps us out with being able to keep the podcast going. So
yeah, totally. We're doing our best here.
All right, got that out of the way.
Yep. So yes, COVID cases have come back. We were taking a little victory lap on this maybe a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were looking pretty good. We were starting to shut down some of the things that we were doing as a county, as precautions. Oh, yeah, we should drop that in at the beginning, too, every time, too. These are our own views and opinions, and they do not reflect the City of Los Angeles, County of Los Angeles, the Fire Department of the City of Los Angeles, or the Health Services Department of the County of Los Angeles.
Yeah, I forgot
that being said, we thought we were doing pretty good on this thing. Things open back up.
I mean, fuck yeah. What is there to say, dude? The numbers weren't really in a place where we should have opened shit back up, but people were pretty much done being locked down anyways. So it was happening already. People were already out.
They were kind of starting to bust through the seams here and there. Yeah.
And then, the George Floyd killing happens and everything fucking pops off. And I think you just couple people being frustrated with being locked down for so long,
being unemployed,
along with losing their jobs, maybe about to lose or get evicted or lose their haven't been able to pay their mortgage because they haven't been working and stuff like that. And the fucking $1,200 check that we got from the government,
all that they gave, and then you hear that $3 trillion went out in payments, like bailout corporations, Wall Street, infusion of capital, so all this shit. We got $1,200.
So when you get $1,200 and the Treasury Secretary says that's supposed to last you 10 weeks, you know what I mean? And there's no signs of anything opening back up. People got sick of it and they started fucking going out anyways.
$120 a week.
So, fuck, dude. And then, people already being frustrated, already wanting everything to open up, and then the George Floyd killing happens, and it just, dude, it was like throwing a match in a firework factory. I mean, it's the tensions were already high, and then then you spark these protests, which turned into riots for a little bit, and then back into just peaceful protests. But in all that, you got a lot of people in big groups basically yelling in each other's mouths, You know what I mean? For a month or however long it's been going on before
And
the
I'll
spike started
say
happening.
we saw a lot of protests. And when you see it on the news, at least for the George Floyd protests, everyone's wearing masks. For the most part, pretty much everyone's wearing masks. They're still in close proximity, and there's nothing people can do about that. People are yelling and screaming. I know everybody was trying to give out hand sanitizer and take precautions in that way. I think the other protests, the reopen protests that were a few weeks before that, there were no masks.
Well,
It
yeah.
was basically a protest against masks.
Yeah,
and
but
now there's like a backlash against masks, which has led to
even with the
the
Floyd
spike.
with the George Floyd protests, there were a lot of people wearing masks, but there are a lot of people not wearing masks, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, if we just all together with our leaders everywhere just said, hey, everybody wear a mask, everybody social distance, you know, the thing would fizzle out. But you know, who the hell knows, dude? Who knows how long it's gonna last?
And you could be watching this saying, you guys aren't wearing masks. All right. True. We are in a small room, though, or in a room where it's only a small group of people. It's just the two of us and our engineer, Alex, who we didn't introduce in the beginning. It's ridiculous. See? That's him. You could hear him. So I don't feel like this is as dangerous, but I wouldn't be going into a store like this. I wouldn't be, complaining about somebody asking me to put one on. If either of these guys asked me to put one on, I put it on. It's not a big deal.
Dude, trust me, the fire department's a pretty conservative organization. There's a lot of, the majority of the time the news that's on the TV in any fire station is Fox News and stuff like that. So it's a pretty kind of right-leaning organization. I'm kind of a unicorn, or the younger generation of guys that are coming up are a little bit more liberal, but
know what you mean,
everyone's bitching about wearing a mask. Okay, fine. It sucks. It's a pain in the ass. Everywhere I go, I even coming in here, because I wear a mask from the car to all the way up here into the studio.
Right.
Even getting out of the car to come in here, it's like you hop out. I can't even tell you how many times I hop out of the car and I cross the street and then I go, fuck, I forgot my mask.
Yep.
Go back and get
It's
it.
a
So
bitch, but you
is
just do it, dude.
It's a pain in the ass, but anybody you have to just think about what you're doing. Think about the danger. This virus, it's spread, person to person from breathing your droplets out. Just use your fucking common sense.
It's like doing a run without gloves on.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wear a fucking mask. And trust me, man. I get exposed to. I've been exposed to more COVID patients than anyone that I know. And I'm around, I get respiratory distress calls every day, multiple times a day. And who the hell knows what the hell a person has when you get on scene? I have no idea. Maybe I might show up to a sick call, general sick call, and you show up and they've got respiratory issues. Their, pulse ox is low. They've got a low-grade fever, and it's like, oh, shit, this person's got COVID.
Right.
Or could potentially have COVID.
Yeah, you don't know.
But I stay gloved up. I wear my N95 on every call. I wash my hands thoroughly, after every single call. I wipe down the back of the I do all the little things to ensure that I'm not going to get sick. And then you have people that say, well, I'm healthy or I'm young, I'm not going to get it. That's fine, man. I get that. That's great that you're young. The problem is, first of all, you may not even know you have it. Because now that they're doing a whole bunch more testing, they're realizing that a lot of people had it that never even had any signs.
Yep.
And never had any symptoms. You might have it and pass it along to somebody. And that's the danger, man. That's really why I'm keeping everything clean and washing my hands, wiping everything down, wearing a mask everywhere. Is because, I'll probably be okay if I get it, you know what I mean, and get sick. I know people who have gotten it.
Right.
And, but I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I knew somebody that I came in contact with got it, and maybe it got it from me,
Right. And here's the thing too, like, okay, there is a spike from maybe from protests and definitely from things reopening, but there's also a lot of people just fucking hanging out and having parties, dude.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just having parties without masks on or without any distancing at all. And like, it's like all these people went through this for months of just staying at home, not doing any of this. So I get like you want to bust out now and like cut loose or whatever, but you're just kind of like undoing everything that everybody
But
did.
it's the messaging, man. It's the messaging. Even fucking Fauci, okay? In my opinion, Fauci is super respectable. I'm listening to everything he has to say on the matter. The problem with Fauci, though, was that he told, I mean, and there's videos, and all the like right leaning organizations and Fox News and everybody were pointing to this video of him saying, yeah, well, I don't think regular people should be wearing masks. You wind up touching your face more and stuff like that. It's not something that regular people need to do. Well, he's come out and since said that he only said that because we were so short on masks that he didn't want people to go out and try to stockpile masks because healthcare workers needed them.
Right.
That's great, man. That's great that you're trying to manipulate the situation that way, but that's not your fucking job. Your job is to give us the facts, give us the information.
Right.
The second you lie about something, the second you say something that isn't your credibility's out the window.
Yeah.
So now,
Which
however,
is most of the coronavirus task force. Like,
yeah, man,
just no credibility at all. So
however respectable your reputation was before that, once you fucking lie to the American public, it's like nobody's going to listen to you, or half the population isn't going to trust you at that point.
Right.
So I don't know, man. It just seems this whole thing seems like a failure of leadership to me. But it's the fucking situation we're in now. So, it's like I said before, dude. All I do is just try to keep myself safe, keep my hands clean, keep my mask on, keep myself from getting sick, so I don't take it home to my father-in-law who lives with us, or my kids.
Yeah. But that's what people are doing. Like, they're having parties at home, get-togethers, and then they go home and they get other people sick.
Yeah.
Easily.
There was a family in Texas. A guy threw a surprise birthday party for his cousin, and he fucking had COVID. 18 members of the family tested positive. One with cancer, 2 like elderly. Their grandparents had it. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dude, I guess I could say it. One of the guys that I work with, the IT guy, his brother just died of it like a week ago. And the same kind of thing. The dude's 40. He has a get-together, a family get-together. Not a big one, but it's a get-together, not a huge party, but has people over at his house, more than 10.
Yeah.
And 3 of them got it from there. He gives it to his wife and his like a 5-year-old kid he had. His kid winds up in the ICU. His wife has mild symptoms, doesn't need to be hospitalized. He, I think, checks into an ER on Thursday, and he's dead like the following Tuesday.
Dude, it's
You know
crazy.
what I mean?
It's
And
fucking,
dude, no health problems. Younger than me.
it's real, man. It's real, and
Just from
it's
that,
just
dude.
like, why risk it? Why? Because you want to wear a mask? It's stupid.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you, man.
what can you do when there's no I mean, obviously it's America. People can make their own decisions unless there's a mandate, from up above that says, this is what you shall do, or there's a change to the law. People are going to do whatever they want.
Right.
And then who the fuck knows when this is going to end. So.
Yep. Cope's on its way up. So
Okay.
let's talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. So our guest today, who is on his way up here, we'll introduce him when he gets here, had something happen to him that not a lot of people live to talk about afterwards.
Right.
So to give you a little background, he had an ascending aortic aneurysm, and basically, just to kind of lay the groundwork so you guys know what we're talking about, the anatomy of it. Your heart kind of sits in the center of your chest, a little bit off to the left. It's about the size of your fist, and basically that muscle it pumps all the blood through your body. Okay, the main vessel that comes off of your heart kind of arches over to the left and goes down the center, and where all your vessels branch off of that is called your aorta.
Everything comes off of it, though.
If it was a tree, the aorta would be the trunk.
The trunk, yeah.
Okay, it's the biggest volume of blood that you're going to have in an artery, basically what happens is the aorta is like a muscle, okay? And if you can picture muscles, it's like fibers running alongside each other. Sometimes when you get a weakness in the wall of that aorta with the amount of pressure that's coming from your heart beating, you can get blood into the space between those fibers in the wall of your aorta. And basically with your heart pumping, you're basically pumping up a balloon, essentially, with blood on the side wall of your aorta.
The inside wall is what we're saying. So the inside wall will just kind of like have a balloon of its tissue popping out into the rest of like the pipe.
Yeah, you're blowing up a balloon. I mean, there's no other way to describe it really. You're that side wall of the aorta. There's a weakness that allowed blood in there. Now there's blood within that wall, and it's blowing up like a balloon.
And it's also blocking the pathway of where that blood is supposed to be going.
It
can kind of divert
it kind of
part
occludes
it.
that the aorta. Now the real problem is when that thing gets so big that it bursts on its own. Okay.
Right.
You can bleed out very fast. It's very, very difficult thing to repair, simply because you don't have enough time typically to repair it.
Right.
When
especially depending on where it is.
Yeah, when an aortic aneurysm bursts, it's just like I said, it's the main vessel coming off the heart when it's beating. So your heart is just basically beating blood out of your circulatory system. Yeah. Okay, you bleed out and you die. So you almost have to be on the operating table.
Once it busts.
If it busts. Yeah. And even then, they might not have enough time to repair it. You have to have a good
surgeon, yeah.
You also have to understand, too, that the aorta, it arches over to the left, and then it winds up kind of posterior on the body, like toward the back of the body. But when they do surgery, they got to cut you open. And that thing runs all the way down through your abdomen, too. So, so you can have an aortic aneurysm in your abdominal area. You can have it
basically
up in your
anywhere
chest area.
from your neck to your belt.
Yeah. So to repair that, they got to incise in the front, and then if it's in your abdomen, they got to pull all your guts out.
Yeah, it's a heavy procedure.
They got to pull all your guts out. They got to clean it all up. They got to repair the aorta down there, and then put everything back.
Yep.
It's a major surgery.
And a lot of times they'll see one that'll come up on a scan, and they'll elect to not do the surgery yet. They wait until it's really, really necessary because of how intense that surgery is and how much goes into it, how much risk is involved. But how does this present in the field? And when somebody calls 911,
so
we don't really know that this is what they have.
Yeah, so
there's not really a way.
I've had a couple AAAs. Both ended badly.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. Before we start, I'm trying to remember one thing. Like, here's Cope coming in right now, man.
Hey,
Chris Cope, come have a seat right there, my friend. All right, hey, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Chris Cope is here. That's our buddy.
It's really nice because I woke up.
Yep. Looking like $1 million. We appreciate you making it down, dude. Fighting the resurgent LA traffic.
Dude, no,
that is now back.
I actually got very lucky. We got him an extra 5 minutes on our schedule.
There should be headphones behind you, dude. And they'll get
you
set up and everything
his
right
mic
now.
on?
And we'll talk you up while they're getting you plugged in, bud.
I could be heard from
Yeah, all right.
space.
There you go.
Still hear him though.
So I was kind of running. I'm Danny, by the way. I'm
Hello,
Ben's brother.
Danny.
Nice to meet you.
And sorry,
Who's
this is
brother?
our guest, comedian
Hello?
Chris Cope. Yeah, this is my real brother.
You guys see the
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
Chris Cope, hilarious guy, nationally headliner, comedian. You've seen him on Conan, and he has had what happened. What we're talking about happened to him.
We're kind of. I was kind of breaking down like the anatomy of the heart and the aorta and stuff like that, and what a AAA is essentially. And then we started to talk about how it presents. So I'll just tell a quick story real quick. I don't know if I've been told you, I'm a paramedic with LA City.
Thank you.
And I've had a couple AAA calls, 2 in my career. Okay, they both ended poorly. One of them, we show up and it was a friend of mine's grandfather. Chest pain, burning pain in his back is what the main thing that he was complaining of. Shortness of breath, severe shortness of breath. He was pale.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, okay, so I'm thinking it's I'm treating it as a chest pain. We got to do a 12-lead EKG. We got to start an IV.
Right.
If you're having pain, I'm going to give you nitroglycerin, which will help with the pain. I might even give you pain meds. I might give you some fentanyl, or it was morphine at the time. So I open up his shirt, start to do a 12-lead EKG, and his entire front side of his body was mottled. It looked like it was like gray
Yeah.
and purple and almost like bruised. And blood pressure was in the dumps.
See, that's what I was going to ask about. Wasn't there, because an old paramedic, I guess, wasn't there a thing like it was like uneven blood pressures, or you took blood pressure on each arm, and if one, it was, that's
Yeah,
what it
it
was?
depends. It depends where it's at. But yeah, you can't have
And
that.
that's what would tell you that you had a aortic aneurysm, or that you're
Possibly,
working with
that's
one,
one
right?
thing. I mean, you might feel a pulsating mass if
Right.
it's down in your abdomen. Yours was up in your chest.
Yeah,
right?
because I mean, you can have it in 3 places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what we'd
So.
feel
Winner.
for a,
right.
a pulsating mass. But essentially, we're treating it as a chest pain. We're treating it as if you're having a heart
Because
attack.
that's what it feels like.
And there's no
Right.
way for us to know.
Yeah, it feels like someone's just sitting on your chest.
Exactly. So we do all the chest pain stuff.
Right.
Start an IV, give nitroglycerin. Nitroglycerin dilates all your blood vessels, right? So
Yeah.
it'll drop your blood
Drop
pressure.
your
a
blood
little bit.
pressure more. Yeah.
I believe his blood pressure was already low, so we didn't give it, stuff like that. Anyways, we wind up getting him to the hospital, and the doctor walks in, and we're rushing him to the hospital because we can't figure out what's going on. He's not responding to treatments, stuff like that. The doctor walks in, looks at him, goes, he's having a AAA. I'm like, oh shit. And he already had an advance directive. He didn't want any life-saving measures done to him. This is an older man. And the doctor, pulled the daughter aside who had rode in with us and had a little conversation. She goes, "Can I go get my sisters?" And ran out to the waiting room, got her sisters, and they came in. And within 15 minutes, this old man passed away. And it was a little bit earlier in my career too. And it's calls like that where his signs and symptoms are locked into my brain. You know what I mean? Like I know
Yeah,
now.
the next time you see
You
it,
won't miss
the
that
next time I
again.
see it, I won't
you
miss
give
it.
the guy an extra 15 minutes
And
or
we're
something.
I'm gonna take his family with me in the rescue because who knows where this is
Yeah.
gonna go, and just move a little bit faster and get him in the hospital so that he can have a little bit more time.
Bad
with his family.
lesson. It's one of those lessons, but you got to learn it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the ultimate outcome that you'd want to have with somebody that's having a AAA is yours, where you get to the hospital
Yeah.
in time to get on the operating table and get cut open.
I mean,
and
I
get the thing
lasted 2.5
repaired.
hours of dissection.
Wow, that's crazy.
I don't. So
Whoa.
either it was dripping like at a very low rate, or I don't know. I like it's.
So
Well, let's go back.
Yeah, let's start from the beginning here.
Because you
like-
had no idea.
The
Like nothing
year
was
was
diagnosed ahead of time, right? Like you had
No,
admitted to the
no. I
doctors.
was in my underwear in a hotel room getting ready. It's like 3 hours before a show.
No.
and this is how long ago?
almost 10 years now.
Okay.
It's been almost 10 years. Yeah, maybe a little
This
less.
is in
Eight-
Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, Harrisburg,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Harrisburg,
Did
Pennsylvania.
you live there, or you on the
Nope,
West
first
Coast?
time I ever flew for a gig too.
Oh no shit.
By myself in a hotel
This
room.
was your first
Like fly
road
gig.
fly
Like not my first
like
road gig.
weekend. I mean, like
'cause-
fly out
yeah,
weekend.
because I've never been to Pennsylvania before, being from Florida,
Yeah.
and I've been there 3 days before, and the last Saturday I'm just dangling around in the room waiting to get ready to get dressed, and then I started having just. It started as a little bit of chest pain, but what's really scared me was I went from not sweating to being completely drenched in sweat, and then something in my life I'd never had happen.
Yeah.
Like to go from you look right now cool as a cucumber, I look like I just ran 2 seconds later I ran a 5K,
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
and my brain was like, I got the kind of all hands on deck thought, like, shit,
Something's going on.
Right.
this isn't
yeah,
an
this is
ingestion,
not
this
normal,
isn't
yeah.
gas, this isn't good. And then the chest pains, and I called my mom, said I'm not feeling good, chest pain. She goes, hang up, call 911.
Yeah.
I had called 911, and then my hands went into shock.
Started feeling numb, tingling.
No, they just did this. I couldn't move them.
Oh, okay.
They did
Really?
literally this thing until
Right
till
after you called.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So by 3 or 4 minutes, I was able to get myself, because I may not have been able to dial because I literally could not do anything with my hands.
Shit.
Were they?
I don't know if that was just the blood,
Was that just like that, or did you feel it coming on? Because that
looking
can
back,
happen.
I'm not quite sure, but I didn't. As soon as I noticed they weren't there, the hands were,
That can happen when you're hyperventilating. If you're having an anxiety attack or panic attack too, which
Yeah.
a lot of times goes hand in hand.
Well,
Well, yeah, because your
Yeah.
body's freaking out.
Exactly.
Like the brain's like, "Are we dying?"
It starts shifting all your blood to your core.
Yeah, and then
Fuck, dude,
as
so
my
that's the first
as
shit
my
you can't
aorta's
feel,
like,
dude.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
excuse me, I'm putting on the mic.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I saw a clip of your Conan
Yes.
episode, and you talk about it's you mentioned someone telling you to stay calm or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I do that all the time.
Yeah.
With you have to,
That's why.
because they're freaking, because people when they're having chest pain, they don't know what's going on. They freak out. They'll
It makes
start
it
having
worse.
panic
It
attacks,
yeah.
makes everything worse. And then when you show up with the badge on and you
Why did a cop show up first?
and you so
The hotel guy let him in because, like on the story, I say I let myself in.
yeah.
Once I got on the bed and called 911, I didn't move from that bed until paramedics put me on a gurney and took me out because I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, the stand-up is there's
of
more.
course, yeah.
You know.
So I don't know how they do things in is Pennsylvania you're in?
Yeah, when the cop came, he accused me of drugs. He kept
So-
asking where the drugs were, and I was like, "There's weed in
No
the trash
shit.
can." He's like, "We didn't do this," and I'm like, "Well, I'm also very fat, you fucking moron. Like, how hard is this to deduce?" Like,
Hey, how much did you weigh back then?
I was mid threes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, for a year before, I took phentermine for like a year and a half straight.
Okay.
If you're unfamiliar with, remember
It's
fen-phen?
fen-phen, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Well,
yeah.
that was the only one that stayed on the market. Everything
Yeah.
else got recalled, but phentermine. And I mean,
Hydroxycut.
no. Oh, dude. Hydroxycut was a cup of coffee to the phentermine's
shit.
line of
Oh no
cocaine.
shit.
No shit.
I gnashed my teeth. People could tell when I was on and not on it
No
because my
shit.
demeanor was like, dude, you were an asshole.
Wow.
And I wouldn't eat, and my heart was just doing this. And I did it for 18 months. I got off it. I lost a bunch of weight, got off it, ballooned back because it was all based
Yeah.
on speed.
Right. Yeah.
And then wingo dingo, I have a fucking aneurysm. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's all right. You can curse.
No, I know. I just,
Yeah.
might be a child at home listening.
How long from quitting that to?
Took
your
another
event?
about a year because
Wow.
I ballooned up. I was just
Yeah.
like, I had an appetite all of a sudden. I mean, this pill, if I took it any later than 10 a.m., I couldn't go to bed till like 1 or 2.
Wow.
No shit.
Did they ever think that had any
Every,
contributing factor to
every
your aneurysm?
I talked to. It's funny because after shows, cardiologists will be in the crowd, and it's for me free medical advice
Sure,
and free
yeah.
medical.
Yeah.
And both of them said absolutely the amount of like whatever my heart was doing for that 18 months. It's like you were running a 5K every day. You just
Yeah,
wore your
dude.
vessels out,
Totally.
and then you balloon, and then your weight ballooned up. That adds your blood pressure goes to shit.
Yeah.
Perfect storm.
Yeah,
We wind up saying that on this show so many times.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you just I used to also not sleep a lot. I would over the counter
You're a
speed
comic.
was
You already live like
I would do
shit
energy
anyway. Yeah,
drinks.
exactly.
I'd perk myself up any way I could.
Yeah.
How old were you when this?
27.
27.
Yeah, I'm 36 now, so it's
So
been 9 years.
I'm gonna
You used to do the like Red Bulls and shit right before you went up.
Yeah, I would. I mean, dude,
'Cause you'll have to be fucking
monsters.
peppy and shit, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and because especially after getting off that pill,
Yeah.
it was hard for me to get up in the morning because it was just like this thing,
Yeah.
bro. It was. It's like whenever you seen the movie, they give them like a shot of adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's literally, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's no longer on the market because
Yeah.
people should not be giving a doctor should have never given me that. I got a VSD. I was born with a VSD.
Man.
Damn.
So it's just like, yeah, my doctor, looking back, didn't give a shit about me. He was like, you want to lose
Yeah.
weight?
There you
Shika,
go.
shika, there you go.
Yeah.
Florida.
Phentermine. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah. Florida doctors, dude. They're just like, yo, here's
man,
the
those pill
pill that will solve your
Which
problems.
is weird because
dude.
I wasn't trying to get Oxycontin or anything. I was just trying to lose weight. And he's like, here's methamphetamine in a bottle.
Man.
Because when you talk, like when you see people on meth, I would also have this.
Yeah. Working the jaw.
Man.
When I was on it, I didn't realize it, but people go, dude, you look like you were on coke or you were. I was on a pharmaceutical version of that.
Yeah. I wonder
Good
if
shit
that's
though.
why
Good
you know,
shit.
Clearly.
Pennsylvania, the opioid crisis all over the country. Like, I wonder if because you were so young with chest pain, if that just
Yeah, the cop
automatically
right
triggered
away,
the cop
yeah,
to show
yeah.
up.
Well, I know my mom when she got up,
Guys
there,
alone
told
in the
them because I
hotel
like to
room.
smoke weed. Don't give him anything. So I had open heart surgery on Tylenol 3.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, no, I got a pain tolerance now, man. I can.
That's
and
crazy,
the
man.
nurses at night hated me because I couldn't sleep. It's extremely hard to get comfortable when you can't sleep on your bag.
Yeah.
And they would only we're only gonna give you this. You're not gonna get any more. And man, but day nurses I got along with because I was awake and
Yeah.
buzzed out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was mad at my mom. I was like, I could have used something a little stronger. I didn't
Yeah.
want you to get addicted.
Jesus,
How long from when you called 911 to when you
Had
were
the
on the
surgery?
operating table?
About 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Because
Jesus.
it took them to the CT. They did 2 other things before they got to the CT scan.
Okay.
And the CT scan, I think, was what told them I was
Yeah,
having
for sure.
an aneurysm.
So let's
Yeah,
take
let's bring
it
it
back a
back,
little
yeah.
bit.
The cop's sweating you.
Yeah.
You're still waiting for this
But the thing
ambulance.
is, as soon as
and
the
you get
EMT got
interrogated.
there, the EMT got the cop to shut up and like,
Yeah.
the cop was like, just almost like, I'm like laying there and he's asking these questions and I'm like, I got weed in the trash can. I got nothing. He's like, we're just not doing this. And then the EMT guy came in and he's just like, get out of my way. Clearly this guy needs to say, we got to go.
Yeah.
And it's snowing outside and I'm in my underwear. No one's going to dress me. So I just put a blanket, took a team effort to get me on that fucking gurney.
Man.
Yeah.
And then cover me, and they, it was like a 5-minute ride to the hospital, thank God.
Was it a ambulance and a fire engine that came for you, or just
No,
an ambulance?
I have ambulance is what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, different cities, different healthcare systems do things differently.
Yeah.
You know? Normally we'd have like a fire engine and a paramedic rescue just for the manpower, just in case something happens.
Yeah, in case you run on a bigger dude.
Yeah, a bigger dude, or let's
This
say
is more shit to set up,
Yeah.
dude.
or let's say
just-
you go
it's
into
work.
cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
I need someone doing CPR. I need someone
People have
bagging.
to trade off CPR
You know what I
because
mean?
you get tired. Yeah.
So it's like with our system, and our system isn't the best, but there are other systems that are worse. We always send more than what's needed. That way if it's there,
Help
if we
is
need it,
best in that manner.
Yeah.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
No, we're going to underfund you.
So did they
Just sit with a Bible.
Yeah.
did they do anything for you on scene? They put some oxygen on you,
Definitely
starting
oxygen.
IV.
IV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I got to the hospital, because the EMT ride was so short. The guy was like, there's Pinnacle Health hospital right around the corner.
Yeah.
We'll be there in 5 minutes. And I remember it felt like just 5 minutes.
So it's not so much that you have to do anyway.
Yeah, they get me there, and they get an IV on me. It was the weirdest thing, and I'll say this, it's still the weirdest thing, when you have to sign.
Yeah.
The waiver.
I was like, what if I don't do this? The guy goes, well, we'll make you, I swear to God, I remember exactly what he said. We'll make you as comfortable as we can, and you'll probably die in the next 24 hours. What did you, he said it. He said it like the Coke machine's down the hall.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, no, there's not another way to say it, though. Yeah,
and
it's
also in my
weird.
head, I'm like, does anybody anywhere near my age go, no, I'm not going to sign this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
Let me read this. Fucking put it in blood. I don't give a shit.
I mean, that's probably the effect he was going for. You
Yeah,
know?
like,
But,
bro, like,
hey,
yeah. Like, you hit the home run because those words are in my skull
Yeah.
until I leave. Like, and then the thing that got me really, and it's funny because I don't bring it up on stage because it makes me usually choke up, was when the nurse came in, like a little bit before third surgery, was like, hey, you might want to call your mom again. And I didn't realize until she said it a second time.
Yeah.
She goes, no, you might want to talk to your mom one more time.
Yeah, that's a good nurse.
Like, yeah, like, hey,
Yeah.
understand your gravity.
Right.
You know, and talk to her. And when they wheeled me in, the last thing I said to the surgeons was, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's like, I'm not dying of fucking Harrisburg.
Yeah, man.
I'm not dying of Hershey country. You know how embarrassing my funeral would have been, man?
God, dude.
Every comic's walking by going,
Yeah.
he got excited for the chocolate.
Yeah.
Just lost it.
Harrisburg's a wild place anyway.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
It's
not
fucking
dying in a
weird
piece
there,
of
dude.
shit. And
Yeah.
it's funny because the booker, the club was there for years after. He's like, you want to go back? I'm like, nah, I go there once in my head a day, man. I don't want to go back to
Like,
where
I'm still trying to leave.
I don't want to look at the same ceiling I'm begging God to see another day through. You know, like it's.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah, and I was in the hospital for
Book you in the same room?
11 days because I had bronchitis.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
know I
wow.
had bronchitis.
Yeah. Before
Did
Yeah.
all
you,
this
you
happened.
acquire it there?
No, I
okay.
walked in the hospital with it. So I
okay.
had open heart surgery with bronchitis.
Shit.
Yeah, they almost didn't let me go out.
They didn't have a
They almost
choice,
didn't
though,
let me check me out. The surgeon wanted to take a needle and go through the scar, and then it was like a mucus bubble.
Oh wow.
And he wanted to do something, and I was just like, no. Because, no, dude, it's fresh.
Can we avoid
Now
that?
I would probably offer you all hand jobs to get out of this. And right then he just
God.
bro. The funny thing is when I did my cone, and the next day the doctor found me on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you shout out the doctor in your
Yeah, in my
that's
act.
right.
And he goes,
Yeah.
hey man, thanks for the shout out. I was like, thanks to you?
Yeah.
You know,
thanks,
like,
yeah.
he's like, oh no, it was God.
Thanks
God
for
wanted you
cutting
here.
my
I was
arm
like, you
open.
don't got to pass the buck on this, man.
Yeah.
Tip your cap.
Yeah.
Take a bow.
Yeah.
But on yours, dude, for real, dude,
Yeah.
it's like I don't think it's 50-50 even.
No, I don't know. It was
Yeah.
15. They said 15
Yeah.
to 20. Was like,
Yeah.
well, they told me it was a little higher, but my mom goes, yeah, the doctor was like, said 15. They weren't asking my mom to come up to see me through the surgery. They were asking my mom to come up because there's a very good chance you're going to need to collect a body.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how she said
Right.
he made it sound. So, they flew up there expecting, and I laughed because I was like, I'm not going.
Where'd your mom fly
From
from?
Florida. And my
From
mom's
Florida?
first time my mom ever flew on a plane.
Oh no shit. Yeah.
I think maybe my brother went to China before. So yeah, my mom never flown on a plane. The first time she flies is to
Man.
go see her son laying in the hospital.
Is that where you were living at the time in Florida, or?
Yeah,
were
I
you
was
here
living in Florida.
Oh,
He's
okay.
from
I was in
Florida.
Gainesville.
Gainesville. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. It's I take care of myself much better now. I'm still fat, but I sleep, I eat, I don't.
Do you
Trying.
do you still feel any effects from it? Like, do you feel like it?
I get a little bit of a dry cough because of the blood pressure medication I'm on.
Yeah.
Every so often I get like a little palpitation, but that's also a side effect of the other medication. So, no. And I go on, and I'm not due for a CT scan for like 2 years because they do it was 1-1-1-5. And I'm about to, sorry, next year. So it'll be at the next year mark.
Where was yours again?
Right here. I'll show you this card.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, shit.
There, you know.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the cardio, the thing is, the last 2 CT scans weren't even up top. They looked at my stomach.
Yeah.
Because they were like, the chance of you having another aneurysm after what they've done up here is unlikely.
Yeah.
They said it's.
You still have the area left there, though. Yeah.
Yeah, because they go, but they haven't found any blockage down here. They didn't look at my head, though, so I guess the head is the rarer one.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
I've never even heard of anyone that's had that.
And survived?
Me,
Bruce Lee died
me
of it.
personally.
A brain aneurysm?
Yeah.
No, if it ruptures your brain aneurysm, you're done.
There's no saving you, right? Because you're dead because one of the nurses was like, we had someone had that in the hospital, and like it happened in between nurse change. Like just
like that.
Yeah.
The-
You walk in, he's talking, you walk back out, you come back in.
Yeah. Because we'll get that. We'll get like unconscious and
you don't know there.
We had one that was a nail lady, nail salon, and
She
was
just had a brain
doing a
aneurysm?
gal's nails and bunk out on
That's
the
what
table right
got,
there.
John Ritter.
They had her.
Yeah.
They had her laying
No,
in the
I think
back.
he had a AAA.
He had a AAA. Yeah.
I thought he had a brain.
No, John Ritter.
Because that was the biggest thing
Oh,
that
shit.
the nurses kept saying, like, be happy you have this at 47. Or happy you have this at 27
27.
instead
No,
of
47.
47 because you wouldn't have survived.
Yeah, it's a rare thing, man.
Yeah.
To,
I know. Well, I know. The nurses would not let that. Because I had to sign away. They wanted to study why. He said like this, we want to learn why you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, 'cause I don't want to die.
Sure, dude.
I will, you piece
My
of shit.
indomitable spirit.
My white privilege.
Yeah, but the cops didn't help you either.
No, dude. I love that when he yelled out, "Do you have any drugs?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I got a big bag of fucking crank right there. Look at me, I'm fucking 360 pounds. Leave me alone. Like, I got weed from a bartender, man.
Fattest crackhead you ever seen
Yeah.
in your life. You nailed it,
No,
buddy.
not these pizza boxes and McDonald's bags.
Yeah.
No, those aren't a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Where's this dank?"
Fucking great.
Yeah.
It was so funny. And the EMT that was, as soon as he came in, cop shut up and let the guy do his fucking job.
At least.
I think it's a good example of because, dude, if you not that this is what the cop was thinking, but like if you're a cop and in the past 10, 27-year-olds you ran on in this little town where there's a meth problem.
Oh yeah, it's,
another fucking 27-year-old. Every time you go, it's fucking meth.
It doesn't matter that he's
Then you
looking at
show up-
cope this time. He's just like, you're just like the rest of them.
Exactly.
I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah.
But it happens.
every tweaker looks like a spider monkey.
But it happens. It happens to all of us. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I show up, if I've dealt with
Yeah, it's
five
deductive
homeless
reasoning.
guys that day that
Yeah.
were all assholes to me, and then I show up and it's another homeless guy, I'm automatically going to think this is another fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's like a aspect, and it goes along with like all the police protests and shit.
I know. I say the
we
same
have
thing.
going
If
on.
you constantly go to the same part of town, deal with the same people, you're predisposed to treating that person like an asshole because you're like, it's another fucking Tuesday.
Exactly, and that's a difficult part of the job that people
Well,
it's
you're a
hard for
human
people.
being.
It's hard to people
You're not a
for people to
robot.
wrap their heads around. It's hard to do that. It's hard to walk on scene with these stereotypes that you already have in your head that are being perpetuated every day by the past 5 patients you've had like this, and come in
And
with
you
a
have to
clean
reset every single time.
come in with a clean slate, and what's going on, sir? You know, and then
It's hard to
Yep.
be nice when you just. We're humans. We wear everything on
man.
each. It's like a brick in a wall. Mm-hmm. And you get to that point where you can't see over the wall anymore because you just got so much bullshit in front of it.
yep.
You know, it's tough. I get that way with comedy sometimes. Like you do so many shitty gigs, and you walk on stage and go, "Here's just another shitty crowd."
Yep.
And instead they're clapping and laughing.
Right?
And
Yeah.
You never
You gotta
really know how it's going to go, but you think like you always know how it's going to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now imagine the prospect of getting shot. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
with you guys got to do a crazy fucking mentally. People like they're not trying to hurt you on purpose. They're just ill, and you don't get to retaliate.
Yep.
You don't get to fucking
And
give them the old forearm of justice.
And
You know?
gotta
and
eat
you
it.
want to, dude. Trust me.
Oh, I
But
can-
that's
'cause
where
you're
the
human.
difficulty in the job comes in. And with cops, it's
Y'all should get paid more.
With
My
cops,
neighbors in
it's
EMS,
10 times that,
they don't
you
get
know?
paid. You don't get paid shit compared to what y'all got to deal with.
Yeah. It depends what
Depends
level
where
you're
you work,
in.
yeah.
Yeah. If
Oh,
you're-
okay.
ambulance driver, one thing, but if you're like a firefighter, paramedic, like he'll make a lot more because he has to know way more shit. You know
I
what
thought
I
it
mean?
was a mustache.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's part of it.
Yeah, it's a thing like where
That got me
there's
in
like
the door.
a
Yeah.
Bro, that's a cop.
For firefighting, it got me
Like,
in
bro,
the door.
you're a servant. That's a serviceman's mustache.
Yeah.
That's by the book. Somebody walked up with like a pencil. He's
Yeah.
like, check the Mac. What's it say? What's it say? 7 inches?
yeah,
He's
it's a
good.
chart. Yeah, yeah. There's like a misconception that you're just hanging around watching TV all day until there's a fire and there's never any fucking fires. But it's like you have to know a fuck ton of things, dude, that you don't even think about that firefighters have to know. But then when it comes up, it's like, oh yeah, who does that? Oh yeah, the fire department does that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they have to know how to do that. You don't get a chance to look it up. You just are supposed to fucking automatically know and just
You know,
nail
I
it.
mean,
Is
I don't
it-
care.
so
They
you just
sit
make
around. If they
bank
do
for it,
sit
yeah.
around, like you still have to run into a fire.
Well, there's
I'm not doing that. I don't know how many days you need off to get to that, but I take them.
The thing about it is that who the fuck knows what the call is going to be? Even let's just isolate it to paramedicine, right? Paramedic. Who the fuck knows? You could have called. It could have been chest pain. It could have been a heart attack.
I could because that was what I said.
Yeah.
It feels
It could have.
like I'm having a heart.
It
'cause
could
I
have
don't
been a
know-
breathing thing.
I never knew what an aneurysm was up until someone told me what the fuck.
That you have it. Yeah.
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 Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But you never know what the hell and that's part of what makes the job so cool is that it's not. I'm not sitting behind a
Adrenaline junkie
desk.
says
Yeah,
that
I'm not
shit.
sitting
That's-
behind
Yeah.
the
Talking
desk
about
doing the
spreading
same
away
thing
shit.
every time. It's something different. Even if it's nothing major and nothing crazy, I'm seeing and doing different things
Yeah.
every single day.
Yeah.
So there's no monotony in it.
Yeah.
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Just depression.
Yeah, sometimes can be. Trust me.
I mean, because look, it's gotta be completely manic in the sense of like, one call someone dies, one call someone lives, one call.
Yeah,
There's the manic and just that the emotion of just registering all that.
yeah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
You just witness stuff and then
Dip
you just
into the
eat it,
fentanyl in the
dude.
back.
You just eat it. Yeah.
You
There's
get
not really
you get a little
things you can
callous
do
to
about
it,
Yeah.
and I talk about that a little bit. Sometimes you tuck it away, but it's just like anything. And I don't know if this has happened with you because of what you went through, but talking about just shit. I mean, this is a major event in your life.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I
near
made a
death.
point because like when I got back on stage, I just started telling the story. I opened every set with this story
Yeah.
and whittled it down to what because when you hear the fuller version on Conan, it's about 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
So I talk
Right.
about the after effects and
to just feel cathartic to get it out and
yeah,
talk
I mean
about
it's
it.
nice to have when because you have a connection with people because they go, well, I know someone that went through that, or
Yeah.
I'm up there going, hey, I lived, I survived.
Yeah.
You know, this is something that like hopefully someone can take away from it.
Yeah, it's an inspirational story, man.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it just points back to you never know what the fuck life is gonna deal.
No,
at
yeah, I
any
mean,
point either. You
it's-
know.
at this point, I've had a couple things like growing up. My house burned down a couple times. Like, just been through some shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You know what? I look at it this way. I like who I am as a person now.
Yeah.
So all the good and the bad and the stew.
That's what I mean.
Stew-
Now you're
The
here.
stew still tastes
Yeah.
good.
You know what I mean? You got out of there. That's the other thing too. I was telling him before you got here. Cope is the only dude who ever performed for our grandfather.
Oh yeah.
Performed stand-up comedy for our grandfather. Our
I did?
our
Yeah.
dad's dad. Yeah.
Oh.
Our mom's dad was kind of like a Latino celebrity guy, so like he knew Paul Rodriguez. He'd seen comedy and shit. You're the only person like my dad's dad ever saw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we did Goonies at the bar that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the old dude was
Oh,
sitting out
okay.
there? Yeah.
Oh, that's
He was giving
awesome.
me that
Did you
stare.
like
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Good.
But then he left right after you.
I
So you're
wonder-
literally the only
He saw me
comedian
back. He
he's
didn't even see
ever
what was
seen.
left.
Yeah, because I had a
He
bar.
knew.
I used to run a bar show every week. That it was my parents lived a few minutes away from it, but they never fucking come. And then one time Cope's on the show, and my dad comes and he brings my grandpa. Never brought my grandfather to anything.
Our
The guy has
grandpa
never
is
seen any.
old.
I don't think he's ever seen anybody perform anything on stage. You know what I'm saying? You might have been the only live performance he's ever fucking watched besides a mariachi,
I feel
dude.
honored now.
Yeah, right. It's a fucking
I
trip,
love
dude.
a live mariachi.
Yeah, right. That's fucking funny, man. Yeah, and like, can you imagine him like at a stand-up show?
Yeah.
Right? Like he just
Yeah.
you just stared at him, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Guy's had a hard life,
he
right?
He doesn't break for nobody, dude. You know what I'm saying? He's funny, you know what I mean? But yeah, just
I don't know. Anytime I see like an
Yeah.
older person like
yeah.
that's ethnic, I'm like, what you've dealt with to get to this point. I'm like,
That's
you can have a
true.
sour
Yeah.
puss.
yeah.
That's true.
I read the history books. I see
Yeah.
what you went through.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, and here's a hug, and I won't be mean to
That's
you.
it.
That's
Yeah.
all I can,
It's a trip, man. Yeah, dude. We've done some fucking funny gigs, dude.
Yeah. Do
Uh,
you think West Side's gonna come back?
I hope, dude. I don't know, man. Let's just say the Comedy Store's not going to come back for a year, or maybe not ever, or something. I heard it wasn't coming back till next year.
Oh,
Like
that's
they,
that.
like they
that
had no
is-
plans to
that-
open again.
Yeah,
I don't know.
mean,
Maybe
it's all
I'm
going to be
wrong.
dictated by how the next.
West Side's
couple
been
months
doing
go, too.
I'll tell you this though,
shows.
they don't extend that unemployment. I'm riding. I'm fucking burning.
Yeah, I mean,
Seriously, you can't be like, no, you guys can't work the rest of the year.
dude, we were talking about that before you got here. I mean, how do you give people $1,200 and say, hey,
Yeah.
deal with it?
Well, no, they had like the PPA with the unemployment. Like people, like
Yeah, even that's like set to expire on the 31st, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been scrolling away as much of it as I can because I had a gig next month in Arizona, or I had a gig next month in Arizona that just got canceled. Literally
Yeah,
I was supposed
yesterday.
to go
they
last
shut everything
weekend.
down in Arizona.
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause
And
it's
then
spiked.
I had gigs nothing in August, and then September. 2 clubs have now been like, "Hey, we're gonna move your dates. We're not opening back
That's
up."
right. I saw you posting dates already.
So it's like, yeah, no, I'm not.
Dude.
I went to Florida. It was nice because I got to work a little bit in Florida, but I mean,
It's rough. I did the last
Money
weekend
don't last
in
forever.
Arizona before this all shut down, and people were laughing at me for elbowing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Same thing in
we-
Florida. They're
Yeah,
like,
we don't
like,
have a
you guys-
Corona here. We don't have a Chinatown. We don't have a Koreatown.
dude, it's bullshit. It's
Yeah.
just,
Most stuff for the year's been canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
most
man.
stuff is canceled.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
rough,
have
man.
crowds.
oh, the big stuff for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, the thing is like, damn, the comedy store can take a whole year. I mean, because that property's paid for. There's no rent on it.
Right.
So you're paying property tax. You're no longer paying employees, so you're just paying property tax and whatever minuscule overhead you have just being open.
I guess that property tax is expensive.
Absolutely, but
'cause- yeah, but shit.
that place, they were about to reopen
Bro,
the patio.
We could be looking at only corporate gigs being available, which I haven't really heard about corporate gigs coming back either,
No,
or any shit out there.
I mean, they're just all.
Because that's kind of like what I was thinking of. There was one that we had. I guess we should say what corporate comedy is. There's like companies will just pay to have a comedian at their like corporate
Yeah,
Yeah,
retreat
you
or
show up in some
event
random
or-
room. There's a stage,
Yeah.
not even a
and
stage.
they
half
pay
the
you
time.
good.
Yeah, well.
They pay you really good. You usually get a good dinner out of it or something.
Yeah.
But
you
the
do 20
crowd
minutes,
is usually
25
pretty,
minutes. It's crap.
The crowd's usually fucked. Is the thing.
Well, they're just eating.
Because-
I've done
yeah,
it.
they don't
I've done
care.
it. I literally made $3
Yeah.
grand for 25 minutes of work, and they just sat there and ate their food. And I was like,
Yeah.
and I told them, I was
just
like, if you guys knew what I just got
working,
paid
dude.
for this, you would have turned your head.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna go put a down payment on a car because of $720 to $725.
Yeah.
While you guys were eating crab cakes,
Yeah.
and then I load my plate up and left.
You're just spilling your whole set out for it, but they're just like,
Oh, I'm just doing it. You just
Yeah.
close your eyes.
And it's
I also
money.
try to crowd work them a little bit, you know. Engage. If I can just find 2 or 3 people to engage me,
Yeah.
it's a conversation for 20 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
It's like being stuck in an elevator.
there was one we had where it was on the beach, dude. You remember that? But It
Yeah.
was like a beach gig, and we were out. It was like a charity volleyball tournament or some shit.
With
and
Lang
they
set
wanted
that up.
comedians, right? Yeah,
Lang set that up. Yeah. Oh,
Eddie
that
Jarvis.
was-
And they had really good food. I remember that there was like a big buffet
There
set
wasn't
up and
anywhere to do
everything.
stand up.
Yeah, that was the thing though. They didn't actually set up like PA and stage to perform, so they were like, "Well, we paid all you guys." I think we got like gift cards too for some shit.
Yeah,
I
it
remember
was-
getting like Best Buy cards and money and food and all this shit. And then they were like,
Yeah, you didn't think about the actual aesthetics of the
"Yeah,"
show.
they're like, "I guess we can't really have you perform."
Have you guys seen
that
the,
was it.
the drive-in
Okay,
shows?
thanks.
Yeah, I saw
Man,
Burt
I
Kreischer's
want to do
doing
one of
drive-in.
those. Those
yeah,
are fun.
drive-in tour.
Those look
yeah.
like fun.
Yeah,
You see
Kreischer's
Dave
doing
posting
them,
those?
yeah.
Yeah. They just pull up in the front of a drive-in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's it, man. Everybody just pulls up.
Who knows,
I
man?
know.
Who
We
knows
gotta
when
figure
any
something out,
when
dude.
any of this shit
No
is gonna
shit.
come back? Because you can't
Yeah.
have crowds.
I mean,
There's no crowds.
if they come back with unemployment and PPA for the rest of the year, PUA, whatever it is, I will gladly sit on my ass for the next 6 months and
Yeah.
not do shit. I won't leave my house really if you want to pay me.
Hey,
yeah.
he's doing his part.
I'm just
though,
gonna
to
write
not
because I've been
spread.
writing. I've been writing
Mm-hmm.
just like scripts and like just anything I can just to.
Right on.
Because you can't play Red Dead Redemption all day. You can't.
That's why we started coming in here, dude.
Yeah,
You know what I
like-
mean? Like, what
Really?
the fuck am I gonna
Yeah.
do?
I swear, I thought it was
No
gonna, I
shows,
thought we were gonna
dude.
do this in the SAG building because I walked up, I was like, oh, it's in this. But
I know, right? Yeah, I know. It's right across. Yeah. Glad you came, dude.
dude, thank
Fucking
you
good
guys.
seeing you,
Yeah,
man.
thanks so
I'm
much.
glad you
Guys
made
along.
it in here, dude.
Thank you.
Fucking awesome,
We're gonna
man.
go home and cook. So, she just graduated. She's finished college, so we're gonna do like lobsters and shrimp tonight. So.
Oh,
nice.
congratulations, dude. Way to go.
Yes, it's gonna be
All
fun.
right.
I'll
Hey,
see you guys
Coke,
there.
tell them where they can find you, dude.
Oh yeah, everything
some
is at
followers.
Chris Cub Comedy for Instagram and Twitter. Website's chriscubcomedy.com. See me nowhere
yeah, coming at you. We don't know.
in my underwear from my room.
Party.
Later, guys.
All right, thank you, dude. Right on. All right, and you can follow me at Ben9Humor, Ben9Humor, like benign tumor on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can follow me at Danny Gonzo34 on Instagram and Twitter.
Follow the show at PRC Pod on Instagram and Twitter as well. Also, like and subscribe to our YouTube page. What's that again? PRC Pod?
PRC Pod, yeah.
Yeah, pretty
They're
much
all
PRC,
PRC
pod,
Pod.
on everything. You know what I'm saying? And we really appreciate you guys listening, following us, liking, subscribing. We're doing our best here to have a very unique show, and we're not asking for money, but we're asking you to tell people about it and support, and that's very cool. And yeah, again, you can email us, contact prcpod@gmail.com if you have questions, suggestions, complaints, if you want to be a guest. And also, you can buy our merch, $20. We have hot shirts. Daniel, stand up. Show him your shirt.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to model
I'm
this
gonna get
shit
it in
right
the,
now. All right. This
I'm
is,
wrapped up.
what's it called? New Era Cotton?
New next level.
Next level cotton. All right.
All right.
Fucking,
Thank you.
Looks great. Buy it. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
All right. Let's get them into.
Dude.